Welcome back to the second YMCA Men's Floor Hockey League podcast, also known as the Circle of Jerks. Great feedback from the first week, so I really appreciate, I think we all appreciate everyone's feedback that you guys gave us. Please keep it up. Please continue to let us know how we can improve. Let us know where you disagree with things. Let us know why you want to fight us because of things we've said. Before we get started, so this podcast is the week two. Week two. Wow, time's flying. The week two recap. And before I get started, I just wanted to thank a couple people. Thank you, Kurt, for letting us use your studio. For those of you who, we need to take some pictures or put them up on the Facebook page or something because this is a legit setup.
It's unbelievable.
And
I feel real.
Yeah, and not only did he set it all up, but he bought 3 new mics and new like materials for this podcast.
Business expense. Write it up. Write it up. Can you do that for beer?
I don't know. Hopefully the IRS isn't listening. Thank you, Jeremy, also for, I know you put in a lot of extra work in terms of editing and setting up a SoundCloud account and everything and the YouTube. So big props to the behind the scenes stuff there. So without any further ado, week 2 did not necessarily go, even though I picked 3 games right, it didn't go the way I was expecting. I don't know what you guys think about that.
No, I'm right there with you. I was expecting a similar week to week 1. I thought these games, just everyone seemed a little bit more tired. The intensity wasn't the same as week 1. There was obviously a lot of excitement throughout the 4 games, which we will get to. But sure, definitely different than week 1.
Yeah, Pete, it wasn't too hot, was it?
No, it was not hot. Well, see, this was the thing, is that I got there at 5:45 and started opening up all the windows. There was a guy running around. He's like, only open one more. And I was like, no, I'm going to open all of these windows. And we got that circulation in. I was a happy man. I could run around a little bit more.
There's rumors that the guy running up there also lives out of his truck, so.
And he doesn't like open windows.
Was he wearing baseball pants?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, normally he just rocks baseball pants. I don't
understand.
I think
if I was wearing baseball pants, I'd want the windows open.
Yeah, it's weird.
Any other introductory remarks other than the baseball pants truck living man?
That's all I got.
That's all.
All right. Well, I got 2 big statements that I want to make. First one is last night, although the games were not as exciting as week 1, a new record was set. More to follow. The second one is that one team scares me more than any other team in this league, and they lost. We'll get to those.
See, now if we had commercials, that would be like your Mike Greenberg like teaser or whatever. Like, do you stay up at night like thinking of these like phrases like something in your home will kill you? More at 11.
Well, that's the thing, is that I'm hoping that we get to a point of where we can have sponsors and then go right into it, like Jamaican Airlines or something like that. Because I'd love to go to Jamaica. I mean, we can do a podcast on the road. I'm okay with that.
I wouldn't mind some comp trips.
So.
Or Tahoe's,
I'm just sick.
We'll get Tahoe's to sponsor this.
Baby steps.
I'm sick of being involved in every shitty record that exists. So.
With that being said,
all right, let's jump into the first game.
All right, game.
Jared Barebone. Oh, and I'm sorry, I didn't even introduce who's around the table today. You've got the Bob Hartman next to Petar Lundsteed. And then Jared Barebone is at his left, and flashing the leather at the left of Jared Barebone is Ryan #Conco sucks.
Gianni sucks.
Yeah. Well, I think the nickname might be a little long. We have to think of something else. Maybe
like shitface.
Okay, shitface could work. All right, so Jeremy, first game stats.
All right, game 1. We have Whose House, Run DMC, with 11, losing to Wu-Tang with 15. Starting with Run DMC, we have Zach Davis finishing with 5 goals, 2 assists, and a game star. Brian D'Angelo, 5-0. J.J. Wagner with a DNP. Rob Maston, 1 goal, 1 assist. And then Chris Milkowski also with a DNP. Ryan Conco subbing in for John Ramsey. Finished with 37 saves and a whopping 71% save percentage off of a shitty third period.
Wow.
For Wu-Tang, Joe Gant, 7 goals, 3 assists, and a game star. John Chatterton, 2-2. Kyle Antilla, 4-1 with the second game star for that team. Bob Hartman, 2-2. Steve Kazmark blanked. Alex Packard, 50 saves, 82% save percentage.
And who was your third game star? You said Joe, Kyle, and
Zach Davis.
Zach Davis for the 5 and 2.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll start with this game because I played in it. Let's just get the big point right off the bat. Run DMC didn't play this up. They had 3 guys on the floor, no subs on the bench. I didn't hear it from the horse's mouth, but I heard that Zach actually declined having a sub.
Yeah, he didn't want a sub at all.
Yeah. So, a bold move there. A bold move, Kyle. Let's see how that works out for him. It didn't work out real well. But that, for those of you who didn't watch the game and don't have the period-by-period stats in front of them like I do, they were leading us 8-2 at the end of the first. I mean, if you could measure the morale in our team after the first period, it felt like we just got repeatedly kicked in the nuts. Because, I mean, they destroyed us. They outplayed us in every aspect of the game. And it was terrifying to think that this 3-man shenanigan crew was going to beat us, after we had a full team, full roster.
But one thing that we do have to look at, though, is Zach is a beast. He definitely has a great stamina in this league. And he can play the full time. So you're getting his full outburst the entire first period. So that really helped him play along. He scored all 5 of his goals in the first period. So that really helped him really get the first period underway to get that 8-2 lead. But this is the team that scares me. This is absolutely the team that scares me. An 8-2 lead. You guys did not get enough shots on goal. I mean, we're talking about 52 shots on goal, but there was only 71% save percentage. And I know that we always talk about Conco as one of the best goaltenders in the league. He had a rough game here, but Ramsey, the worst save percentage of the night was 64%, and even 64% off 52 shots is 18 goals. They scored 8 goals in the first period. You're missing their 2 fastest guys with Chris Masakowski and J.J. Wagner. This team is going to be deadly this year.
And the absence of JJ and Chris was big, like you said, not just because of the lack of subs, but because there were some rebounds that we left out there. We didn't help Alex out a ton, at least not in the first couple of periods, and they really could have cleaned up some of that if they had that. Not only that, but they could have played better defense on us too. And that was my other big point from this game is their defense just broke down, and it's probably because of fatigue. I mean,
yeah, for sure. I mean, you could see it on both Rob and Brian's face. They were exhausted. Even Zach, he got to a point of where when it got to the third period and it became tied or they were down by a goal, he was just like pumping himself up to try and score that extra goal to tie it. But you have nothing left at that point, and having 2 extra guys just really gets you to that point.
They weren't even running on fumes. They were out.
They were out.
You play 40 minutes straight like that, and that's what we finally were able to wear them down, and we started passing the puck a little bit better, and we worked it side to side, and they just couldn't keep up with us.
Now, with everything being said about Run DMC, Wu-Tang is good. Wu-Tang is very good. They are definitely a new level. Joe is on a new level this year. He is ready to win this championship. He wants to go back-to-back. He's my vote for MVPs early on in the season. This guy's doing awesome.
What's funny about Joe, too, is that when we were down early in the first, and even after the second, we were trailing 9-6. I said to him that if you can score 6 goals in 30 seconds, because I know you can, I'm going to buy you a steak dinner and open bar, just whatever. My dad's yours. He scored 6 goals in the third period. It wasn't 30 seconds, but it was damn close. I actually started to check my bank account on the bench, to make sure I could afford the steak dinner. And one more point about my team, though, just talking about how good Joe was. Don't sleep on Alex. He had a rough first period, 65 save percentage in the first period, 93% in the second, and 91% in the third. And he made 21 saves in the third period alone. So yeah, we played better as a team. They got tired, but he's not stopping crappy shots. I mean, he's stopping Zach Davis backhands, Brian D'Angelo forehands, Rob Maston, ripping it from half court. Those are 21 quality saves.
Yeah, this is a team that's going to be definitely a reckoning with. I mean, you're 2-0 right now, tied for obviously the top in the league with the team called Quest, but really, really making a move.
And Conco didn't have another great game. I mean, we have to say, I said last week, if I score 2 on you, you're probably not on your game. I scored
Conco,
2
what do you
on
feel? What's going on so far?
There's no way I could have stopped either of those. The first one, he was set up right on the crease, I think it was, and just perfect one-timer. There's no way any goalie's getting over.
Well,
and then the second one,
with my stick.
yeah, the second one was, I think it hit off 3 different legs and then popped in the back of the net. But
that was his shot.
He was the one that shot it. So
you got 2 goals and 2 middle fingers from me because you were taunting me in the first game.
Yeah, I was. I think I was saying not this week,
not
this
tonight,
week.
yeah.
But then put 2 in on me.
He had a great.
But yeah, Zach Davis right from the beginning was just like, I don't want any subs. It's just going to be us. And Brian and Rob just kind of looked at him like, are you serious right now?
Jeremy, how would you feel without any subs?
That's not
Good
static.
point, good
That's,
point.
That's you're making all sorts of weird noises.
That's how I would be breathing without any subs.
You really need some oxygen. You're like someone like emphysema or something with one of those masks on.
But the thing is, in the first, Run DMC was able to get so many goals, I think, because they just controlled the puck the entire time. They had possession just like nonstop, and Wu-Tang Clan would just dump it down after they lost possession, or they would give up possession by dumping it down.
I've never seen a team, exactly what you're saying is, I've never seen a team control play the way they did in the first and second periods. Now, I know you guys came back a little bit. You had 2 goals in the second period as well, but, 4 goals in the second period as well, but they were slowing the game down. Like, it became boring.
They didn't control it. And that's what it scares me about them too. We rematched them at full strength. I think it is.
But give it up for Alex, though. I mean, he had a rough first period, and then he came back and finished really strong. Zach couldn't score on him. Nobody could.
No.
93%, 91% second period, third period, and I think that speaks for itself.
Yeah.
So my 3 stars, because of that, actually, I have to take one away from Tyler and give it to Alex. So I agree with Zach, I agree with Joe, but I got to give Alex one of the game stars. Even with only 82% overall, I honestly think that's why we won the game, is because he was able to have those 2 strong periods.
Sure. I had the same as our statistician, Joe Kyle and Zach.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so I'm the only one that gave one to Alex. No love for the goalies.
No, I like scorers.
All right. Game 2.
Jumping into game 2. We
Speaking of
have
scorers.
yeah. This is not a goalies game at all. Sugar Hill Gang 19, the Roots 20 in a game that's.
You heard that right. 19 to 20.
Yeah, a game that
Defensive battle.
at one point turned into a Trump rally. We got past that. I don't really want to touch on that too much. It's not really the best spot of my Y career was that game. But going into the stats, we have Gianelli Jones, 7 goals, 4 assists. Jeremy Boner, 3 goals, 0 assists. Bonet, I apologize.
Bonet.
It's written weird.
It's French.
Yeah. 3 goals, 0 assists in a penalty minute. Kevin Parker had 2 goals, 1 assist and a penalty as well. Kevin Baldwin, 2 and 2. Dave.
Oh, Kevin Baldwin had the penalty.
Yeah, Kevin Baldwin definitely.
Oh, yeah, I apologize.
The 2 of you were in the box at the same time.
Parker was running his mouth, so I thought he got him in sports too. Sorry.
In all fairness, all of you were running.
Yeah, that's true. Baldwin with the penalty, 2 and 2. Parker with 2 and 1, no penalty. Dave, thanks for showing up, King. 5 goals, 0 assists.
Is that hyphenated?
Yeah. It's on his mother's side.
Okay.
Steve Schultz, 45 saves, 69 save percentage. Gianni with the game star. The Roots, Pete Lundstead, 5 goals, 1 assist. Austin Bull, 5 goals, 1 assist in the game star. Andy, why did you have to show up, Galvin? 6 goals, 1 assist, the second game star. Dan Gladding, 2 and 2. Ian, 2 and 2 in a penalty minute. Kenton, 34 saves, 64 save percentage. Not a good for third period for him.
No.
No. And I was a stat keeper for the second and third periods, or at least the third period. I might have missed a couple of saves.
And assists.
Yeah, well, all right. So we disagree on how you should register assists in this league.
Yeah, I should always get one.
Yeah.
This game was a mess. I mean, there were some rough calls throughout the game. I don't know. We had a rough call in week 1 where there was a high stick that would have led to a tie game. This week apparently went in our favor. A goal that was in the net but called later. I mean, this game was all over the place, and I felt really bad for the refs reffing this game. But biggest thing here, we are part of a new record. New record of 39 goals scored combined in one game. This beats the previous record of 35, the Thundercats 21 versus Sinister Sticks 14 back in week 6.
So you're saying I beat my own record?
You beat your own record. And honestly, this game was awful defense, bad goaltending throughout. I mean, you're looking at a 69 and 64 save percentage, not good. Gianni was lights out tonight, 7 and 4, but he always plays me well. He loves to just come out big because I think he likes for me to talk about him or for me to write about him. Kind of like what
He
you
still
said.
sucks.
Still 7-4, best of the night. Then you look at Dave King. I mean, 5 goals tonight. I mean, he was a big difference maker. But the thing that I'm really excited about on my team, you have 3 different guys with 5 goals and 1 assist. Andy had 6 goals and 1 assist, and then 2 and 2 for Dan and Ian. I'm really excited for the offensive side of things, but holy crap, our defense sucks. I mean, we're awful.
The defense was bad.
Awful.
But you hit the nail on the head there. You, Austin, and Andy all with more than 5 goals and an assist apiece, and that's not even counting Dan and Ian with 2 and 2 each. Like, anyone that has their person with the least amount of goals with 2 goals, regardless of how many the other guys have, that's a good freaking night. And you guys are doing that, and you're looking good doing it on offense. Before I go any further, I need to say something. I was questioning where the scoring was going to come from for Sugar Hill Gang. Apparently, I found my answer. Fucking everybody. I mean, you got 7 goals from Gianni, 3 from Jeremy, 2 from the Kevins, and 5 from Dave. And I have another confession to make. I forgot who the fuck Dave King was. Like, I really did. I forgot who he was.
I know.
I love playing this guy. I enjoy Dave King. I think he's a great addition to the league.
As soon as I saw him, I remembered him. But the entire offseason and looking at the roster on paper, I kept thinking, Dave, who is that
He
guy?
won the championship.
All right, that's why this is a confession. It's not an easy confession to make, but it's a confession. I forgot who he was, and now as soon as I saw him, I'm like, oh.
You are playing.
There's no way that these guys are going to be the eights.
But still, they had a great scoring night against an awfully defensive, awful goaltending night. I mean, once they go up against a better goaltender, and Jeremy, by the way, I think you need to play like that, pissed off every single night, because the second that you came out off after your penalty, everyone on my team was scared of you.
Hulk angry.
Complete Hulk angry. What changed for you?
Mostly John running his mouth. I'm not gonna lie. He gets under my skin just the only way like a brother could. So like I'm out there, I'm running my mouth at him still, and he's like, "Why don't you go score a goal?" So I'm like, "Okay." So then
And he did.
I scored a goal and then I face washed him, which any other league I probably wouldn't be playing next week at least. So
yeah, you're lucky that John's got some. Not only is it this league, but it's also that he's a calm guy because.
Yeah.
My brother would have decked me if I did that.
Yeah. Well, he's like, I thought about tossing you, but I know how much Wednesdays mean to you, so I couldn't justify sending you off.
And I think Paul would have been really upset because who the hell is going to keep his stats correct?
Yeah, it's true.
There's no one better than me. There's no one better than me. So
I would have stayed in
Paul
done
would have
stats.
overridden it.
I would have stayed and done stats and continued to shit talk John from stats if he kicked me, but
Yeah, I mean, overall, this was just a bad game. I think one of the big things that I put down on paper is Baldwin still needs to step up. I know he was 2 and 2 this week, but he was picked in the second round. He's a great defenseman, but at the same time, he needs to be a top 2 scorer for that team.
And along with that though, I'm going to take a different take on that.
Okay.
You're saying he needs to be a top 2 scorer.
Yeah.
I'm saying. I've been saying, where's the scoring coming from? Then they answered, and they told me that, by the way, beforehand. They heard the podcast, and they were upset about that. But the second thing is, now where's the defense? Like, okay, great.
We were talking about their defense in both of our rankings.
You found the offense. You just let 20 goals go in, and it wasn't all Steve's fault. Like, did Steve have a great night? No, he didn't. But there were a lot of uncontested looks. Austin didn't finish again on a few. He finished on more this week. But there were a few more that you put on his stick or that he deked through like everyone twice. Like he decided to go back around again and deke through everyone again and then didn't finish. And, Steve had his work cut out for him because no one was playing good defense.
Right. No, and that's the crazy thing about this team is, they had 39 goals against in the first 2 games. Not good. Now, granted, this was Steve's first game, and the first game for anyone in this league is always just going to be a learning curve. I think they'll get better. It's nice to see the scoring, but I'm nervous for them for the rest of the season.
I thought this was the best game of the night.
Why? Why was it the best of the night?
Wait, are you a goalie? I'm going to revoke your goalie card for that comment.
It was the most entertaining. You got scoring, you got Jeremy getting pissed off, you got contested calls. It was the most entertaining one of the night. I didn't get to watch all of it because I had just finished the first game and then I was getting ready towards the end. And I actually missed the contested call.
Yeah, can you walk us through that? In all seriousness, we've been, kind of tiptoeing around it. We haven't said it actually happened, have we?
Just to kind of, honestly, I don't want to get too much into it, but what happened was
Rage.
you had a goalie near you had the ref that was near the goal. He called no goal. From the freeze we played, we're already basically carrying the puck over half court, and then the goalie from the opposite end blows the whistle.
Ref.
The ref, I apologize, blows the whistle, comes over. They confer, they determine that it was a goal. And again, what bothered me wasn't the fact of whether or not it was a goal. It's just normally when a ref is unsure, he asks for assurance, and then they make a call there. They don't let play continue, especially 20 seconds later to blow it dead after we're already continued playing. Normally, and John, talking to him after the game, don't worry, I'm still coming to Easter. But he basically apologized. He said, you're right. Anytime that we blow a call, we live with that blown call. We normally don't overturn calls, and this is the first time that we've done that, and I made a mistake, and that's basically, what we left it as. So, I mean, it was definitely a learning experience for everybody involved.
It was pretty funny too.
It got hot. It got heated. I actually walked onto the court to try to separate you guys at one point because I didn't think it was going to end well. But you know what? It's a fun league. We can disagree on things. We play passionate. We play competitive. But sometimes those things happen. But you know what? We're still going to Eastern. Although I would be careful though with what's in your basket. Undesirables. I had the same 3 game stars as you, stat keeper. I had Gianni, Austin, and Andy.
Yep.
Hard not to give one to PR, but it's. I thought
Andy had 5 goals in the
And-
past 2 in the second and third period.
Andy was
so
a huge difference
absolutely.
maker,
Absolutely.
and Austin controlled the tempo more. I thought.
I gave one to Pete instead of Austin because I didn't think Austin could be out that late. So
All right, game 3, Jeremy Bonet.
Game 3, NWA. It ended with 10. Furious 5 with 8. From the NWA side, oh shit, I didn't do game stars. Hang on,
You son of a bitch.
I'm working on it.
Well, I'll just catch who's looking at game stars. Mike Bryant had 5. I mean, no, I'm gonna. No, you might have good names. Never
Yeah,
mind.
you just
All
get
right,
names.
so I'm ready now.
People can wait.
Mike Bryant, 5 and 3 in a game star. Mike Sturgis, 1 and 1. Jamie Herbergerberger, 0 goals, 0 assists. Steve Newberry, 3 goals, 1 assist. Dave Foss, 1 goal,
And
0
celebrate
assists.
a goal at that. I mean, we got a private scream out of that goal.
Yeah. And a penalty minute for a cross check.
I did not remember that.
Yeah, we're still celebrating the goal. Like,
Not Dave Conco, Ryan Conco, the other Conco.
my Dave.
56 saves, 88 save percentage with a game star. From the Furious 5, Paul Paradine, 5 goals, 1 assist. Jesse Trado, 1 goal, 2 assists. Gaffey, I'm wide open here on the other side of the net, Paul. 0 goals, 0 assists. Pete Skidmark, 2 and 0. Brad Burr, 0 and 0. The recipient of a cross check. Got a little bit into Foss's face afterwards. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, he's good.
Tim Scott, 48 saves, 83% save percentage.
Who are your other 2 game stars? I heard Conco. I said that too.
Mike Bryant, Paul Paradine, Ryan Conco. Basically, if you look at this paper page before the game started, you're like, who are the game stars? That's who the game stars are.
I wouldn't have gone with Conco because he had a rough beginning of the season.
No, he definitely picked back up. I mean, what did you feel was the difference for you tonight, Conco?
well, my team had a game plan as far as defense goes. We were going to shut down a certain player.
It was Brad.
I'm sure. Yeah. It was Brad.
You succeeded.
That's why Fo's
Yeah,
cross-checked
but
him.
he was
We're
blanked.
trying to.
Brad had 0s and he got cross-checked. So.
Exactly. But yeah, we came out with a really specific game plan, and we really stuck with it the entire game as far as playing defense and shutting down Paul. And then even on offense, we just tried to possess it as much as we could, so Paul wouldn't have the puck as much.
You know, it's funny because I gave I didn't give you a game star, Conco. I gave it to Steve.
Oh yeah.
Because his defense last night was incredible. I said it time and time again. I think Steve is a great offensive player. I think he's a better defensive player. And when he was on Paul did not have much opportunity to score.
No, if you've said it time and time again, I haven't been listening, or I just think I'm smarter than you because I haven't been paying attention to it. I was shocked at how good his defense was.
Really?
I mean, I thought he was the difference in the game too.
Mhm.
He just shut him down. He was just like he was all over him all the time, and I don't think I've ever seen Steve play defense.
And that's how he plays, though. He's like a Gaffney. He's that annoying piece of crap that's just going to keep just being in your face, but then he stops you. He stops you. I mean, it
Gaffney,
blows
you're
my
not
mind.
invited to Peter's Easter.
No,
by the way.
no. But you can wear a great 3-piece suit.
You're
serious.
I'll bet you could rock it. Yeah, I mean, Absolutely. Steve's defense, I think, was the difference in this game. Obviously, you guys had your scoring. You had Mike, and that connection starting to seem a little bit stronger, and you had Post with his very excitable goal. And Newberry even notched 3 of his own. But I thought the difference in that game, and the reason this was the only game I got wrong, was because I wasn't expecting Steve's defense.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that I really liked about this game, it was great that Conco stepped back up, but it was nice to see Bryant share the puck. He played a great game, very physical, a lot of great shots, but at the same time he was passing really well. I mean, 3 assists on the night. We always mock him about that. He's only a shooter, but he had a lot of great passes, moved the puck around, and I think that was a big reason that Steve was able to get on the board tonight. Sturgis really needs to pick it up. I don't think he's meshing well with his team right now, but it makes me nervous because once he starts meshing with his team, it's going to be more dangerous.
I'm going to give you one of the teasers now. I think Sturgis actually is playing the way he should be playing, and I'll tell you more about that in the preview edition.
Yeah, I think you just need to give him time. He's going to start to pick up the points. We played 2 pretty good goaltenders and 2 pretty good teams. The first game that we played week 1 against Wu-Tang, he just got shut down. All of our guys, it was kind of tough.
Sure.
Passes and everything. And then the second game, you're playing against him, where it's not like you're playing against, the traditional butterfly goalie. He plays a lot of stand-up. So when you get down and close, especially, he's so good at positioning that you have nowhere to shoot. You have to go around him, which isn't exactly Mike's skill set. So I'm not too worried about him. I think he's going to pick it up. And once him and Jamie do, it's
heard from the captain's mouth right there. And that's the thing. I think Jamie needs to pick it up. I mean, he's got a great shot from the point. Your team needs to figure that out. Because I figured it out last year and I loved it. Just don't figure it out against me, all right? Thanks.
Yeah, for my game stars, by the way, I do agree with you, Peter. I had Mike Bryant, Steve Newberry, and Paul Paradine. Even though just 3 goals and 1 assist, and Paul still finished with 5 and 1. I mean, that's Air Canada for you. You put someone on him on his hip all day long, double team, and double team, triple team to the point where he had Gaffey wide open 3 feet from the net, as you said. And another guy, I don't remember who it was, but I remember distinctly seeing Gaffey and someone else like 5 feet away. It was Jesse. Gaffey and Jesse, the 2 best offensive guys after Paul, wide open with makeable shots on the other side of Conca, and Paul still tried to take the shot himself.
They got to learn. They'll learn. They'll get there.
Paul. You can't teach them new tricks at this point.
Yep.
Anyone else? Conca, who are your 3 game stars?
I agreed with you guys where I gave it to Steve Newberry too because I thought he was a huge difference maker.
That's just a false humility.
And you saw.
You thought you were.
After his performance in the first game, he knew he didn't deserve it.
You're lucky I wasn't shooting at you.
I know.
I got your number, man.
Yeah, he brought up. Jeremy brought up a good point. I mean, we're pretty much taking the 2 games and averaging them out, so you don't deserve your game star.
Game 4, going into it for time's sake. A Tribe Called Quest finishing with 12. The Public Enemy finishing with 6. On the Tribe side, Mike Furlano, 4 goals, 0 assists, gave him a game star. Jeff Burge, 0 goals, 2 assists. Pat, no 80s in the stands. Kuzanow, 2 goals, 0 assists. Kurt Brownspot, 0 goals, 1 assist. John, where the hell did you come from, Stration? 6 goals, 2 assists, and a game star on the night. On the other side, Chris Enright, 1 and 1. Tim Anderson, 1 and 2. Chris Lally, 1 and 0. Matt Galuli, 1 and 0. Shane, 2 and 1. Bill Rylick, 63 saves, 84% save percentage.
And I think you jumped over Brett's.
Oh yeah, Brett, my bad. 49 saves, 89%, and the 3rd game star of the night.
That's the
Who was the second one? I'm sorry, I missed the second one.
We have Mike Furlano, John Stration, Brett Siebert as your 3 stars.
Yeah, Brett had a great game last night. I think he was really one of the big reasons that they won last night. I thought that they were getting a lot of quality shots, and this is Public Enemy shooting on Brett. But man, this a Tribe Called Quest is really scary. The thing is, they're so boring to me. Like, this team is so freaking boring because it's not pretty, it's not exciting, it's not flashy, but they're just going to beat you simply because they're out hustling you. And that was the difference maker last night. They just out hustled them to the pucks. They were very physical. They used their bodies to get to the net and score goals. That's what happened last night, and Public Enemy just had no response for it.
And Public Enemy was leading. They were up 4-3 after
4-3.
the first, and I was thinking, oh no, I'm going to be, start out 2-0 and finish out 0-2. But you're right. A Tribe Called Quest just straight out played. in every aspect of the game. Every single aspect of the game, they outplayed them because they out-hustled them. And here's the other thing about a Tribe Called Quest, though. Yeah, John Strachan comes out of just nowhere.
Unbelievable.
With 6 goals and 2 assists. Jeremy, you pointed the stat out to me, so I want to give you the hat tip here. The first 6 goals of the game, he had a hand in. He scored 4 of the first 6, and he assisted 2 of the first 6. The other 2. So, I mean, what are you going to do when the guy that you forgot he's even on the team scores 6 and 2 on you?
But he positions himself well to do that.
Yep.
But is that a John Strachan thing, or is that a Tribe Called Quest thing? Because last week, Pat Cousineau had 4 goals.
True.
Another guy who you're not expecting to be up there in goals.
And
Is next week going to be Kurt's week?
And that's the thing, and that's what I think makes the Tribe so scary. Is like everybody's worried about this Mike Furlano, Jeff Burge tandem, and Burge had a fairly unimpressive night, 0 goals, 2 assists, but first game in this talented season that we have so far. But every week it seems like one role player is just stepping up and killing it for him, and the fact that you're getting production from the bottom of your lines like that for these teams is going to be killer down the line when you're playing teams that are as good as you are. It's going to come down to who's stepping up.
Better. I think every other team in this league is so much better than them on paper. However, I think this team is going to have more wins than most of the teams in this league. I can see them finishing top 3 easily simply because they're going to beat you by out-hustling you.
Yeah.
You cannot match it. Furlano is a bull. We all know that. He's one of the best aggressive players in the league. But, I mean, you look at Kurt last night. Kurt frustrated the heck out of that entire team.
Yeah, he really did.
People just shut down. I mean, there was one point that people didn't want to take a face-off against him. So that's scary. That's scary simply because it's not going to be exciting. It's not going to be anything like that. But the fact of the matter is they're just going to out-hustle you and beat you.
Yeah, and I don't want to gloss over what you just said, Jeremy. I think that was a great point that I didn't think about before. For the Roots, we kept talking about Peter and Austin. Andy was the difference. For a Tribe Called Quest, we kept talking about Mike and Jeff. John Strachan was the difference. For NWA, we kept talking about Mike and Mike. Steve was the difference. I mean, that in almost all of the games, our game, the Wu-Tang Clan and Run DMC is a little different just because it's a weird game. But in the other 3 games,
Or even if you go to our game, like Dave King stepping up and being
Dave
difference.
King, we keep talking about Sugar Hill Gang, and Johnny had 11 points or whatever it was.
Still sucks.
So, but Dave King has what he had 5 goals.
5 goals, yeah.
I think you hit that was a great insight there because every single team, it's who's stepping up outside of are we ever going to get a preview right? Because we're going to keep talking about other guys and then someone else is going to step up.
Yeah, every once in a while I have a good thought.
Well, that's why I'm just flabbergasted. Just like Steve Newberry's defense, I'm not used to you having great points.
I'm glad your point didn't get across last night. Give us that one extra goal.
Well, maybe you had a lot of practice. I'll give you your point. That's right.
Let's not forget about Brett, though. He gave up 4 in the first. And he was pretty frustrated, but then he came back and only gave up 1 in the second and then just shut him out in the third.
Brett's becoming elite. Brett is becoming an elite goaltender in this league, plain and simple.
20 saves in the third, 1 goal out.
Just before, time for sake, just to kind of touch on Public Enemy, they looked tired. Mm-hmm. They looked like me after 2 games. And that's saying something. You're looking at the goalie, he's not getting up off the ground. You're looking at Enright, he's kind of half-stepping. And Enright's an Energizer Bunny, high-energy guy. For him to be kind of going half, again, it could still be that injury, but...
I think they underrated coming into this game how good a Tribe Called Quest is. Well, once again, not how good they are, but that they're going to win.
They're a relatively emotional team, though. I think you're right. I think it wasn't just being tired. I think it was emotionally let down because the wind was out of their sails. Enright's an emotional guy. Tim Anderson's an emotional guy. Larry's really emotional. Goalie can be fairly level-headed, but it can get to him, too. And
nothing affects Shane.
Yeah, no, Shane's just going to choke slam you when you're not looking. But and Bill's an emotional guy too. They're just
their passing was there. Their passing was definitely there. The
67% of their goals were assisted. Thanks for bringing that up.
They're going to be scary offensively. I think the offense is not. I know they only had 6 goals tonight, but
4 in the first though.
Yeah, 4 in the first, but they're definitely going to be a deadly team. I think just tonight they met a team that had a better game plan coming into it.
And they're balanced. They're like you said, their passing was on. I know because they told me. They all looked at me after the first goal was assisted that their passing was on.
Yeah, no, they're a good team.
Quick thing, we got to give Bill a pass here. I mean, he made 63 saves.
He's still in 84%.
Yeah,
I mean, it was still
63 saves. That's a lot of shots, or just saves.
He faced 75 shots.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's Jeremy Bamer territory. So,
My 3 stars, by the way, were John Strachan, Brett, and I actually gave him a star to Bill Ronick instead of Verlano because of I thought he kept him in it.
No, I had John, Mike, and Brett as well.
I was the same with Bob. I gave Bill and Brett a star, and then John Strachan because.
No, I thought Bill played the puck too much. I thought that save percentage could have been way higher. There was 3 or 4 times that he played the puck when he could have just taken the freeze and he would have saved at least 3 or 4 goals.
You're right about that. He's probably just from the frustration, but
Sure.
I
you can tell who the goalies are with those stars.
Yeah, that's Conco and I recovering goalie. All right, let's jump into a couple of awards. My personal favorite is a new award this week.
Weekly stars.
Yeah. Jeez.
Man, another great point by him. That's 2 in one night.
Wow,
That's how I started off. I had the weekly stars as Gianni Jones,
Sucks.
Joe Gant, and John Strachan.
Same.
I'll
Go ahead, Conco.
I'll go with Joe Gant's hair. It was pristine as usual, and in that third period, ran his fingers through it, and then just lit
That's
it up.
what stopped you.
Yeah. I couldn't focus. But I had John Strachan, and you know what, I'm going to go with Steve Newberry because he did such an awesome job shutting down Paulie.
So
You hate Gianni that much. He has 11 points on the week.
High
The
of the
best
night.
of the week. And you give it to Steve Newberry.
Well, because Gianni sucks.
Good point.
I'm going to go with Joe Gant and Gianni because it's hard to argue with those 11 goals. And I'm between Andy and Conco. You know, I can't give it to Conco if I'm giving it to Steve.
Give it to Andy.
John Strachan.
Yeah.
You can't go against John
I'm
Strachan.
between Andy and Congo, John Strachan. That basically
pulled a curtain.
that summarizes John Strachan's performance.
Yeah,
Like I'm
exactly.
between these. Oh shit, John Strachan.
No, he had a great week. He deserved it. I was fighting between him and Mike Bryant because I thought Mike Bryant was a big difference maker in your game, Kako. But, John Strachan had a great game. I dropped my pen because I'm so excited for him.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, though. We even now, afterwards, like, who's that again? John Strachan? Oh, yeah, 8 points. All right, so a couple of awards for the week. First of all, a new award. It's the Steve Harvey Award. And it's going to go to Gerber Bonet and John Chatterton. The Steve Harvey Award is the Family Feud. Pete's losing it. He's making it. It's so good. It's the Family Feud Award, but it's also awarded to John Chatterton a second time for screwing something up and then correcting it later.
He deserves it, though. He deserves it. Absolutely.
Yes. No, so John Chatterton, thank you. Or
Congratulations.
congratulations for 2 Steve Harvey Awards. And Jeremy, you get 1 for the Family Feud aspect.
Yes.
Survey says
The Silent Assassin Award, sponsored by the Navy SEALs, goes to
John Strachan. 6 and 2. No one knows where he is, but he scored 6 goals and 2 assists. Unbelievable. Great night.
We scrapped the Gorilla Glue.
That's the play of the night. So the play of the night, I don't know if you guys saw it, but we were watching this game. It was the first game of the night, and who was it?
John Chatterton.
So John goes to block a shot. He literally tries to slide on the ground, but because there was so much skin from the jerseys, he just literally slides on the ground and stops. And I got Jared Bear next to me, and he goes, "Well, that's the Gorilla Glue slide of the game."
So.
I forget who had the puck, but they like stopped and like double clutched a few times.
And he was like trying to scoot, but he wasn't moving. It was pretty.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even remember that play. I was in there.
Oh, it was so funny.
Yeah,
We were dying.
It was good.
We did have one more award. The 5-Hour Energy Award, of course, goes to Run DMC.
The entire team.
Yeah.
Also sponsored by Iron Man. So plays of the week. Is that really your play of the week?
Yes.
No, my play of the week goes out to, and it is brought to you by the Spartan War Cry. Dave Foyles with a shot, gets the rebound, backhands it into the net, and screams like someone is murdering him. But it was a great goal.
No, the scream alone was the play of the week.
He
It
deserves it.
was George Favaris worthy. That's
Yeah, well,
great.
That was.
Get nutty.
That was.
Yeah. I'm sticking with the John Chatterton slide.
Conquering
I'm going to go with, I think it was the third period of my game with Tim Scott, where I forget who shot it. I don't know if you guys know, but, or no, maybe it was the second period, but they shot on net, and it was a wide open net, and Tim just somehow got over and stopped it. And I was celebrating, thinking that it was in.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
That's my play of the week too. Actually, he was on the left side of our right, his left side of the net, and you're right. They shot it low on the left side,
Yep.
opposite side of the net, and he dove across the net and plugged it.
Yep.
And Tim's not necessarily known for his agility, but he definitely showed it there. All right, well let's wrap up. We're a little over time on what we had hoped for, so we're going to ask a short question here. If you had to pick a single guy from the league to be the best man in your wedding tomorrow, and it can't be for anything outside of hockey. So, for example, I was actually in Brian's wedding, D'Angelo's wedding, so I'm not picking Brian for the relationship outside of hockey. But if you had to pick one guy from the hockey league to be the best man in your wedding, who and why?
Ian Smith. Because I know if I ever needed to get something done, that guy would take care of it.
He would toss anyone out of the wedding too.
Exactly. I object. Excuse me.
Best man at my wedding. I can't go with the obvious answer, which would be my brother,
Oh.
John Chatterton. But
Well, I don't know. After this week, it might not be an obvious answer anymore.
I feel like probably Kurt Braunow. I think he would give a really good speech.
Kurt would give
Yeah.
a killer speech.
You know, I was thinking about this. I would
What are you
say,
thinking about?
Wait, is this just something you think about? Because I didn't tell anyone this question before.
yeah, I already knew, just like the other.
Oh, just like the
Yeah.
other question I just scrapped.
Yeah, we're on that level, Bob.
No, I don't hear that one.
I would say Joe Gant just because of the hair. He would bring the rig out on the side. But I think I'm gonna go with Gianni because he sucks so bad that he would make me look better. So that's my
Good
pick.
point. What about you, Bob?
You know, I honestly, true to form, did not think about the question or the answer before, just the question. So I'm scrambling now, but I think I might have to go Mike Bryant. He's just such a nice guy. I think he's a great host to people, and I think he'd give a killer speech. Like everyone would either be crying and or like filled with joy at the end of that speech. But it would be awesome.
You guys do know I go to like 40 weddings a year, right? Like I'm kind of offended that no one picked me. I'm a DJ. That's all I do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
Thanks.
you play. I didn't ask for someone to play music and stand in the corner.
Yeah, but I've heard so many speeches. I'm kind of offended.
Well, on that note, thank you for listening to the Circle of Jerks. Apparently, we're getting even more jerky lately. Make sure you tune in for our Week 3 preview. But thanks for listening for the Week 2 recap, and enjoy.